Thomas the tank engine arrived at the yards. Sir Topham Hatt had said for him to work with Stanley. "Here is Stanley," said Sir Topham Hatt. "He is new, and he has only worked at Great Waterton since he arrived. Thomas, I hope you will be happy to show him around." "Yes, sir, I will," said Thomas. "I will show him lots of special places." "Where to first?" "Well, Stanley, there are lots of beautiful places on the island of Sodor, and there are lots of special friends to meet," said Thomas. "I'm sure you will like meeting them." "Let's go," said Thomas. "I'm ready," said Stanley. And Thomas took his friend Stanley out to the open mine. Stanley quickly followed. He was excited. "Where to first?" asked Stanley. Maybe Homestead Hollow," whistled Thomas. And the journey began. They passed James. Stanley felt to get a little nervous. Thomas and Stanley chuffed into Homestead Hollow yards. Yards were not busy. "Hello," said Thomas. "This is Stanley." Stanley tooted hello. "Why are you here?" "We're just saying hello," said Stanley as he backed away. "Come on, let's meet some kinder engines," puffed Thomas. "Why so rude?" "No one likes annoying engines who come from annoying sheds." "I am sorry about them," said Thomas. "Never mind," said Stanley. "There aren't some nice engines, like Goliath." "Goliath is not a nice engine," puffed Stanley. "You are right," said Thomas. "Goliath is a terror." Thomas and Stanley arrived at the lower terrace of Homestead Hollow sheds. The Homestead Hollow engines tooted hello. "Hello," said Thomas. "Say hi, Stanley." "Hello," Stanley whistled. "Nice to meet you." "I am Nalani. I'm Dominic. I am Gabby. I'm Mia. And I'm Brandon." "Nice to meet all of you. Goodbye," puffed Stanley. Thomas was surprised. He had no idea why Stanley whooshed away. "Well," said Gabby, "he is a rude engine," said Mia. "Maybe he's just shy," said Brandon. "I know," said Dominic. "We can play one in a headlamp game." The other engines agreed that would be a good game to play to pass the time. Stanley chuffed away. Thomas soon caught up with him. "What happened back there?" asked Thomas. Well, I'm just a little afraid of meeting new people." "And new engines," said Stanley. "Never mind that. I'll go with you. But this time you have to introduce yourself." Stanley followed, but he was worried and gravely puffed on. Thomas and Stanley arrived at a yard. "Hello," said Stanley. "My name is Stanley," and Stanley puffed worriedly away. Thomas and the coaches were greatly shocked. "I am sorry," said Thomas. "We'll be back soon." Hopefully, Mia, Sydney, and Araya didn't even care. Stanley whooshed through the tunnel, and Thomas quickly followed him. "Come back, Stanley, come back," whistled Thomas, but Stanley didn't want to come back, and he continued on. Finally, Thomas got in front of Stanley, and he rounded a bend, and then he came to a stop. Thomas had run out of coal. He could go no further. Without coal, he could not make steam, and Stanley felt very bad. So Stanley buffered up to the back of his train, and he puffed Thomas to the works. As they puffed along, they passed Toby the tram engine, Gordon the big engine, James the red engine, and Edward the blue engine. And Stanley did not get frightened at all, not once. And finally, as Stanley and Thomas pulled into the yards at the works, and as Thomas watched Stanley puff away, he tooted, "Thank you. Thanks for your help. Thank you." And as Thomas watched Stanley puff away, he knew he had taught Stanley a great friendly lesson.